How's everybody doing today? You're back for another episode of the Broccoli and Breakdowns podcast. I'm Tanner, and today we've got episode number 10 with Reason Defined. They finished up their tour recently, which ended with an awesome show in their hometown. There's some great stories from that, along with writing and recording their most recent album, In Memory, running around a storage unit during their recording, and the Charlotte music scene. Check them out on basically all social media, and while there, throw us a like as well. You are currently listening to their song Reaper. As always, you can listen to all episodes of the Broccoli and Breakdowns podcast on Apple Podcast, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and all other major streaming services. Thanks again for tuning in.
Venue that we've ever played at.
I actually like the new one better. Like I like that it's a little bit smaller. The balcony.
It still does.
No, did it have it?
Yes,
before?
it did. It's a little bit more controlled now. I think I just like it so much more because it makes way more sense. Like before there was like 3 bars and 2 of the bars were barely ever used because there was one upstairs, one downstairs in the back, and then one on the side, and like only one was ever like used, and so it just was kind of like a waste of space. But now everything is kind of more compact, so like you can even like 100 people on that floor looks like a lot of people. So like that's a really cool thing, and the sound system's way better now, and it's just cool. It's really cool looking. I like it a little bit smaller personally.
I was gonna say, because you guys are playing Plain tonight, and I love Plain, love that venue. I just like how, because there's no stage, which I like. I don't know. I like
I'm
it.
5 feet tall, so I hate it. But
we have risers.
That's
We have
fair.
risers so we can kind of compensate.
yeah, I have a step stool.
I like the risers because we can like kind of create our own stage, wherever, because like everybody knows you don't go past the risers,
Yeah.
and so that's really nice.
Well, it's
Don't
funny
tempt me.
because if you're
That's all I'm saying.
if you're
Don't tempt
standing
me.
behind like 2 rows of people, you just hear a voice happening. You don't see a person singing. You just see like a little blue head bopping around, and then I have to get on the riser, and I'm like, no, I'm real. I'm here. Like really here singing the songs.
But I just like playing in such a small venue, so intimate, that you get 20. If you get 20 people in there, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. We've only played there one time back in January, and that
But it
was
was
like the
packed.
first time. Yeah, it was awesome. Like the vibe was really cool. It was like, I don't know, sometimes showing up to venues like that, like you never know what the energy is gonna be like with the people and like with the like workers of the venue, and it just like exceeded our expectations like so much. It was just really cool, and like there were a lot of people that were really excited, and like being able to be that intimate with people is not something like at Amos's, like you're not really like standing in front of people, standing on top of people at Amos's, whereas at Clayton, like I accidentally hit Spencer in the head with my guitar.
And he got
Ever got in the pit?
Spencer got beat up that night because I also went to go like pull my microphone off the mic stand, and I didn't grasp the mic stand and just went boom and like threw the mic stand into Spencer's face after he got knocked out by you, and I was literally like,
And
dude,
he was
just
excited.
go stand
he
somewhere
was so
else.
excited about it the whole time. He
Yeah,
was like,
it was so funny.
yes, beat me up. Hit me with your
I don't
guitar.
care.
I love you guys.
So the Amos show, sitting about 400 people. I personally never played in front of 400 people. No, I haven't. I had to think that for a second. Was that the largest show you guys have played?
So technically, no. Technically, our first album release was bigger than that, so we
Okay.
had 500 people there.
Ooh, okay.
But this one,
Both Amos too?
No, so the first one was at the Underground in 2017, and I think that a lot of that had to do with like it was our first album, and everybody, all of our family came out of the woodworks. Like every single person we've ever talked to went to that show, and it was free.
So it was like really easy to pull people out to that show.
Yeah, it was free because we were just like, here.
So it's cool for us that we pulled over 400 people to this one, and it was not free. Like, so in order to be able to do that, like, and make people pay money to come watch you.
Yeah.
It was our biggest paid show.
Yeah. Because as I say, we technically, the biggest crowd I think we ever played to was Pride, but that was like forever ago.
Pride was like...
We played Pride Festival a couple of times.
But the first one in particular, we played to a bunch of people.
We were direct support for like the main
Leanne
act.
Rimes.
It was Leanne Rimes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We opened up for Leanne Rimes.
And
Which
if you want to
so
count,
funny.
like technically, like how many people they believe were watching, it was like 8,000.
Well, 8,000 people
Watching
were
us.
there.
They were just attending.
They were like
there.
they were like in the like the tens of thousands were actually there, and they believed like around.
There
that
was
was,
probably 1,000 people.
Yeah.
There was at least 1,000 people that were like from us to like where we eyesight away. Like it just wasn't.
It was pretty cool to do that.
I was just like, how exhilarating is that?
Yeah.
I wish we were Reason to Find when we did
Yeah.
that.
Nobody cared about us,
Oh,
but that's okay.
We were the reason you stayed.
The reason you stayed.
hate
Okay.
We're like we're embarrassed by this, but we know we have to talk about
That was
it.
our first name.
What year?
The back cover band.
We were
We were a cover band.
We were.
That's when we first started out.
So
We were students, man. We were babies.
It actually didn't change that, like,
It
it changed pretty close to when we released our first album, so it was December of 2016, actually at Amos's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We changed our name, we had a big
On
show.
stage.
We were just like, guess what? We're not that anymore. We're Reason to Find. Bye. Like,
Well, we built it up so much. We like all changed our social media. We were posting really cryptic things, and everyone was like, "What's happening?" And then we were like,
they thought we were breaking up.
Yeah. So we said like we're announcing what's happening at this show, and everyone came and they were like, "Hey, so like, what's going on?"
It was cool. We, like, everybody, nobody had any idea. Like, we wouldn't tell anybody, even like our closest friends in bands. They were like, what is happening? We're like,
You'll find out at the
nothing,
show.
nothing. You better go to Amos's on December 23rd. December 23rd.
Yeah.
Because then we released a single.
Yeah,
Man.
that night.
At midnight.
That night.
Yep.
It was at midnight.
had
We were
it.
like, yeah, we're Reason to Find. Gate Kingdom right now. Or like it was like in an hour.
I was at Amos's posting it on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
it was like 12:01.
No.
I was like, ah!
I remember us the second we got off stage, we all sprinted to the back, and each of us had a computer out changing our social media names and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like we
that.
all made like fake accounts to hold those like usernames
Yeah.
and stuff.
So
Like
we're trying to delete the accounts and like
trying
put them back
so
on our
hard to
thing.
get everything handled. That was
But
stressful.
yeah, we used to be the reason you stayed.
Yeah.
But we
He
didn't know.
thinks it's really funny.
Because
really
we
likes it.
didn't know each other when we first like became a band because we were just students at this music school and they were just like, you're a band now, and like I didn't know them at all. I like kind of knew Savannah, and Caitlin wasn't even in the band at first. So like, and the whole idea was for you to do like learn a bunch of fucking covers and just like play them on stage. And they're like, cool, look you did the band thing, congrats, and then you're done. And then like you're not in that band anymore. You wait till the next like cycle and you're in a different band, and you just like cycle out of these bands, and it's just fun for kids to do. But people were like, chicks playing music, I want that. So they just
like
It's literally all they said.
Yeah.
the school we were with just kept asking us to play these like benefits and stuff, and then Beyond the Fade found us, and they were like, "Hey, do you guys want to come?"
That's why
open?"
the name's a joke, by the way, because we were
Because
the
it was
last
a-
band of the show, and because she's left-handed, and everybody used the same drum kit, and they were like,
So,
you have to
we
be
had
the
to
first or last, and Sydney was like, we'll be the reason they stayed, and we were like, cool.
But so we just kept playing these like benefits and stuff, and then Beyond the Fade found us, and they were like, "Hey, you want to come open for us a couple times?" And we were like, "Yeah."
And we were like, we only
Sure.
know how to play Crazy Train.
Yeah.
And our vocalist doesn't even sing that one, our bassist does.
Oh,
So she
God.
just walks around.
Oh God.
Here, play guitar
Yeah,
as
we
well.
were just a kid. We were just a kid band.
We were
and
some
like,
babies.
was 12.
I was 12.
literally 12.
Yeah.
I was 18. You were
I was
17.
17. You were 16.
15.
Yeah,
When we
15.
started.
Yeah. I don't know how old Caitlin was.
But Sydney was literally a child.
I was literally a baby.
So then you guys changed your name 2016, Reason to Find. 2017, Far From Strangers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I listened to it yesterday. I was like, fuck, this is good.
Wow, thank you.
Listen to
Yes.
In Memory?
What?
Did you
You
listen
listen to In Memory?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Okay.
So do you?
multiple
So
times.
I was gonna say, please acknowledge that one is
I've
10
heard
times better.
Well, the thing that I was really surprised, because who did you record Far From Strangers with?
It's a guy named Don Tobias, and I don't know if he actually records bands anymore. But
He doesn't.
His studio then was Studio D Productions.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was in Cleveland, Ohio, so we like traveled up to Cleveland and recorded that with him, and we did pre-production with him, and then that was the first album.
Because what really impressed me was how this sound, it was a similar sound for both albums. And I was like, because I was thinking like, Edward did one, I didn't know who did this one, but it's still the same sound. Obviously, not
It's like the
obviously,
adult
but-
version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like it's more.
It's like, wow, it's like the real band version. At least that's what it feels like. It feels like to us. I know that other people probably don't listen to Far From Strangers and be like, that sounds like a bunch of children. But like that's what it feels like
We
for us
felt like a
that's
bunch of children.
because that's
Yeah.
what we were. We were just like half of those songs were songs that we either wrote in the past and kind of like we're just like okay, it's a song now,
we
and
didn't
like
know
Ghost
how to
Lights.
songwrite.
Like I didn't know how to songwrite at all. Like I had Ghost Lights.
Do we
like,
still? Like, we're still trying to learn how
Yeah,
to, like...
I mean, it's a constant learning process. But the cool thing about Don, who did our first album, is he came in and, like we've said, we were super young, like, when we first started, and we were still super young when we started working with Don. And it was cool because we wrote all the songs, like, just the 5 of us together, and then basically brought them to Don to be like, here's what we have. And then he did pre-production with us, and, like... He just kind of like took all of our songs apart, put them back together, changed this, and
there were
taught
like
us,
subtle changes, and it made such a big difference.
Yeah, and it was just, he really taught us a lot about songwriting, and like how to work together and just really small things that we can do. And it was really cool because like without him, we wouldn't be able to write the music that we can write now. Cause like, I'm not gonna say that the songs were terrible before Don came in, but like they were really struggling.
He
Probably
taught
just
us
rough.
like
They're just rough.
the
demos.
basic-
Yeah.
demos.
He taught us the basic way to like make a song interesting because he's like, okay, so like you don't have to all be playing the same thing all of the time. If
There
you
were
just
3
literally
guitar
change,
players
yeah, I
playing the
used to
same
play.
thing.
I used to
Pony
play
used to play guitar.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
because so in the beginning, we actually had 2 vocalists, and I was not the main vocalist. Like we were like very 50-50, and then it ended up we were like, I don't need to be playing guitar, and I'm just gonna sing, and that's just how it went. And
It actually ended up, that was an accident, honestly, because we were writing songs and we were like, maybe Polina can play guitar in the next one.
yeah,
Maybe she can play guitar
I
in the next
started like
one.
taking
And then-
it off and like only wearing
and
it
then we
for
were
like
like,
certain
no,
songs.
don't play guitar.
And
You
we were
don't
like,
need to
why
play
do we
guitar."
need 3 guitarists? We don't. So it was interesting to be able to sit down and him literally just be like, okay, so you play one different chord right here, and it's a harmony to what she's doing, and then it would be like a totally different
And our
song.
tiny little brains
We're
were
just like, bah!
Yeah.
We were just like, what the fuck? Like, that's how you do that? Like, it was so
it goes
insane.
from like just being like this almost narrow to just opening it up, making
It was
bigger. It
huge.
makes it
Well,
full.
Yeah.
And then, like, just learning, like, that little simple thing, I was like, well, if we can do that, what else can we do? And then we all started looking up other stuff, like, actually learning, like, the different things you can do in
We
a
started
song.
listening to new music.
Yeah, I
like
started
trying
listening
to
to
You
more
like.
technical
appreciate it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god.
He also, like, things like, we would have, like, a verse with 2 lines in it, and he'd be like, hey, this verse, like, didn't even happen. Like, you gotta do more of the verse for it to be a verse. You can't just be like, la la la, la la la, chorus. So it was, like, cool for
I
the
don't know,
song
you
structure.
Can't just have a one-word
You
chorus.
you can.
But like when we were first starting off, that wouldn't have been a good idea for us to try and do stuff like that. We needed more structure, so
Yeah,
we
if
actually.
it's a conscious
Yeah.
decision, then like, yeah, do the 1-word chorus. But like,
But it
we
was
just were
literally-
like, this is good enough.
It was literally like this. There was a song that didn't even really have a chorus. It was just kind of like, I mean, we can do that, and then I guess we can do that, and then we can go back to that riff, and then we can, yeah, that works.
It
I
was
guess.
literally like a
And he was
"you
like,
made me
this-
sad," and then be like 1-word chorus,
Dawn
and
was
then
like,
you
"This
made
is
me
like a
more
minute
sad.
long."
It just was like everything just happened in little chunks, and it was not good.
How'd you meet Don? Like, how'd you get up with him?
So we actually were going to sign with a label at one point when we were really young, and obviously we didn't end up doing that because we're not on a label now. But we did get connected with Don through conversations with that label. So like we met up with him, and even though it wasn't involved with the label, we still made that connection with Don.
Because they were good friends. The guy who owned the label and Don were very good friends, and they didn't work together anymore. But he was like, "You guys look like a Don band."
Yeah, because Don had like worked with female-fronted bands. He's actually in a female-fronted band, so like there was no worry about him being able to handle 5 females. Like, whatever, everybody can handle 5 females. You just like have to not be a dick. That's it.
He maneuvered our energies really well too. Like, he knew that he couldn't be very critical if he was talking to me, and he knew that he could be critical if he was talking to Savannah. Like, he just knew our personalities and knew
He
how
picked
to
up
speak
on
to
it
each
so
of us.
fast too. It was crazy how well he just like nailed all of our personalities and how like we would each one of us would have received the information in the best way. It just was like, it was insane. Honestly, he's very good at what he does. He's a family friend now.
Yeah, he's part of the fans. But he also did pre-production on In Memory too, so he came in.
He did a little less than he did the first time, which was cool because we were actually able to kind of like, wasn't so much him being like, fix this, that, whatever. We would be like, we don't like this part. How do we make it better? Like, I felt like this sounded right, but is that like okay? It was more of us asking him questions on how we could make it better because we already knew the parts that needed to be better, and it was him helping us like problem solve instead of him just telling us what to do.
So, you guys, because you guys recorded with Edward, did you do pre-production with Edward?
No,
We did it with Dylan.
Okay. Did you guys go back to Chicago or?
No, Cleveland, Ohio.
Or Cleveland, my
But
bad.
yeah, it's fine. No, we actually flew him down here, and he spent like a week down here just like going through the whole album and like fixing everything while he was here, and then he flew back.
Okay. Because I remember Edward saying like, you came in with all the harmonies. Maybe it wasn't just you, maybe it was all of you. But like came in with all the harmonies, like wrote out and was like, this is what we're doing. And Edward just being like, yeah, that sounds good.
Yep. Yeah, we did. We didn't really realize the importance of making little demos for yourself until this album, which like now we have a very good understanding of how important that is, and we will never ever try to go into the studio without having some sort of demo for ourselves, because like I can write lyrics right off the bat, but like they ended up being so much cooler. Not lyrics, harmonies right off the bat. But, like, it ended up being so much cooler because I had time to, like, think about it and listen to it and be like, okay, like, that's cool, but it could be better. Or that's just not working. I don't know why that sounds funky. And then I had, like, time to think about it and figure out how to make it better on my own time and, like, without anybody else's, like, opinion, like, being in the studio with the pressure and then being like, well, try this. Maybe we'll just pitch correct it. Maybe we'll do... And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to write my own stuff. And, like... if I didn't remember something, I could just be like, oh, let me see what I did in my demo track, click! And it was great. It was like the best decision we've ever made.
Does one of you record then? Like,
We
Pro
literally
Tools, like,
used
that kind of-
GarageBand for
GarageBand?
And
this
our-
past time.
You know,
iPad,
iPhone, headphones that came with our phones
like a
and
little
iPads.
iRig that I plugged in.
And I was just like, this works, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll probably figure out a different...
Oh, we'll do a better job next time. Edward was like, this isn't good enough, guys. Well, like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. We
We
don't
were
know
just
what
like,
we're doing.
Yeah.
it works. It's there. I can listen to it. We'll figure it out next time.
How was recording with Edward?
Oh my god!
Oh, he's
Edward.
so wonderful.
I love Edward!
We actually talked about for like a solid 10 minutes on the way here just how much we like Edward.
I messaged him today and
Have
I
you
was
seen
like,
his hair lately?
Yes.
I'm just saying. I talk about it every time I see him.
love Edward.
I
He's
like
awesome.
Edward with the long hair. It's cool. It's
Me
different.
too.
It's different.
He takes care of it.
Yeah.
I'm a hairstylist, so like I
Oh,
get
okay.
like I'm like no, if it was bad I'd be like, get that off of you now. But no, he actually takes care of it, which means he's allowed to have it.
He's
But,
alive. Paulina approved.
Paulina
How
approved.
many songs? 12, 13?
10.
It
10?
turned out to be, well,
It's
11,
11 with the
technically.
intro track.
We
Oh, okay,
didn't really
okay.
count the first track as like a
Caitlin made that
a
beat.
song.
She made that beat.
Yeah, Caitlin made the beat.
It was the
and then
Caitlin and Edward
James
collab.
made the beat.
Yes.
No, but Edward recording with Edward is so good. It felt like we would like, so I'm in school still, and so we would have to do like full weekends at Edward's house, so we would spend the night there and stay in his guest room, and it felt like I was like waking up at my brother's house, like,
Yeah.
like getting ready to record. I would literally roll out of bed, it's 10 a.m., be like, alright Edward, plug me in, I'm ready to go.
It was so
He's
He's
Well,
like
at
guitar
10
for
a.m.
me. Well, to be fair, we
Actually, I
would
think
stop
it was-
recording at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it was
It was earlier
It was
than 10
way earlier
a.m.
than 10.
No, we started early for us, which is like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Very early for us to
that
be
is
out
like
of bed.
crazy early.
Like,
Yeah, but so I would literally roll out of bed in my pajamas into his recording room and be like, Edward, I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
He's
What's
just
the plan
so
for coffee
patient.
today?
He's so patient and like accommodating, but also knows how to like when we need to just let the silliness out and like when to bring it back too, because like we're ridiculous.
Trying to record gang vocals was an
There's
experience.
a 12-minute track of just vocal
The
bloopers.
chants, I love them. I love the chants.
Okay, so one thing that was really cool somehow from the difference between Far From Strangers and In Memory, like when you listen to the gang vocals on Far From Strangers, I feel like we sound like a bunch of little babies. And then like, I feel like for In Memory, we still sound like females, but like there's something that is just different about it. Like it's
It's kind
still
of-
so powerful.
It's kind of punky. That's
Yeah.
what I got. It's kind of
Yeah.
has this I can't think, like Cherry Bomb. You know the song?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That like that like
Yeah.
harsh
Interesting.
harsh like female.
like
Like
that.
it's got a little fry in there. A little yeah. I really like them.
Well,
Anger.
doing the gang vocals with all 5 of us in
That was
Edward's
awesome.
little
And then you gotta
studio.
shut the AC off.
You gotta
God.
So-
Get the HVAC off!
So-
the AC on.
Oh.
They always called it the
Shut the
HVAC.
HVAC.
It was never the AC. It was like, I gotta go turn off the HVAC.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Edward, go turn off the HVAC.
Well,
We're gonna die.
I was obviously the last one to record, so all of them had like spent all this time with Edward, and like he kept talking about the fucking HVAC, and I was like, "What the hell is an HVAC?" Like I didn't even know what it was, and he would just like say it, and I would look at Savannah and be like, "What is he?"
It means it's gonna get hot.
And I was like,
Real
"Okay."
Wait, when were you recording this?
So it was last year.
April.
We started in April and ended it in May.
We did ours in October, so it was like end of the summer, and I was just like dripping sweat.
Oh no.
Honestly, the storage unit was better than whenever the
yeah.
Dude,
AC
the
was
storage,
off.
every single time I think about recording, I don't remember any, like, or I don't even pay attention to any of the times that we're, like, actually working. I'm like, oh my god, the storage unit, that was so funny. Me and Shelby rolling around in the storage unit on those carts. And, like, Sydney's trying to track jumps, and we're just
Yeah.
like, bleh, like, all the...
They went and just like explored the storage unit and found some stuff while Edward and I were trying to get everything handled. And then we just like turned the corner and we find them all just rolling on the floor.
We're, like, pissing ourselves. We're laughing so hard.
And Edward and I are like, y'all gotta be quiet.
And I'm like, gymnastics!
Yeah, Edward really dealt with a lot of our shit. Like
He described us as a shockingly productive band.
Because we get shit done, but it's goofy in the process.
Yeah.
We did a live stream. Edward and I were having so much fun. He's like, dude, I'm gonna do a live stream with you.
Wow.
So we just did like a live stream, just fucking around the entire time.
I like Edward because he's like so serious it seems, but he has no problems with the shenanigans.
Yeah.
He's just surprised by them sometimes. So many times he's just like, what is happening? It's fine, but what?
Yeah, because
He
we were
got
just so
less-
ridiculous.
He got more like acclimated to
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
shenanigans as the recording process.
Because, I mean,
went
we're
on,
fucking
but-
weird. Like, that's, like, really the only way I can describe us and our humor and the way that, like, we, like, mess around with each other. It's just weird, and it really, really throws people off. They're just like, I think that you're on drugs. I think that you're actually probably
A
insane.
little bit of cocaine.
So, a little. And it's like, we're super sober all of the time. Like, we don't drink at shows. Like, we're not into any of that. Like, that's just not the kind of band that we are. And so, like, people are like, I don't know you don't need drugs. You don't need alcohol. You don't need it. You guys are just fine. Exactly the way that you are.
What's your favorite songs off In Memory?
Oh, sweet guy.
Oh
I'm gonna make you
no.
answer that.
You made Savannah hand fart.
Can you do it again?
But you went. I don't even know what
I
you
know, a
did.
lot
I
happened.
can't grab my face. Okay, cool.
My favorite song.
Favorite
also.
song.
My favorite song.
I don't know.
Oh,
God, it
dude.
changes every single day.
It depends on what I'm
I swear to
feeling.
God.
There's so many feelings in this album. Like, if I'm depending on what kind of sad I am, just what genre of sad am I today? Like, that's the song that I am
I
gravitating
think
towards.
that one that I always kind of gravitate towards, and I can't say this is my final answer, but Forgiveness Again is always like one that I kind of think of first. But
Reaper
like-
always comes to my mind. I really love Reaper.
Reaper, okay, so Reaper's become one of my
Double bass on
favorites.
Reaper.
To,
It's so Oh, it's so good.
It's the best one live, I think. Like,
Yeah.
usually. Like, it just seems like, as far as, like, listening to the album, I think Forgiveness Again is usually the one I choose. But as far as playing live, like,
I can
Reaper
agree with
always
that.
hits so hard live every single time.
And
like,
the crowd just absolutely loves Reaper. Like, they get so into it, and, like, we get into it.
I never get to enjoy Reaper live though, because I'm just like, must focus. So I'm just like, they're all having a great time, and I'm like, run! I literally feel like I'm just like sprinting the entire time.
I guess Reaper would probably be my right now in this moment. I'm gonna say Reaper.
I always
Also,
come-
just because I'm
changes.
jazzed about
I always
reading
come back to Reaper. Like, Reaper is definitely one of my tops, and right now it's definitely Reaper.
Yeah.
But, like, it never leaves, like, top 3 for me. So, like,
Pointing Fingers is one of my favorites.
I
that's
love
like
that
a
one,
classic.
too.
That's like
Pointing
a classic, man.
That is my favorite song to play live right now. It is
that one is a lot of
so
fun
much
live.
Yeah.
For
It's
at least
so
for
good.
us, like, it's like, I know that it's fun for the crowd too, but it's a different feeling on stage because, like, sometimes Reaper, like, especially the verses, I'm like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like, other people enjoy it, like, because it's gives them a chance to kind of move around because there's not a whole lot of, like, melodic structure. It's kind of repetitive, and, like, that's cool for the crowd, but for us, we're like, is it chorus time yet? And then, but, like, Pointing Fingers is just, like, sassy and, like, upbeat and fun all of the time for us. So, like, I really enjoy Pointing Fingers live.
I think my favorite thing about this album and Memory is that, like, that I can't pick a favorite song, that
Yeah.
I'm always rotating. And it's really cool because, like, fans will latch on to different songs and, like, become fan favorites. And it's cool that I can be fine with any of those. Like, if they could pick any song that they're like, I love it, please play it every single show, it's the best song that you guys have.
We would
Yes,
be like,
ma'am.
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, great. All of
Other
them.
than Mirrors, because we
was-
don't always have a piano. But
I was about to say, can we hear Mirrors? Can we hear Mirrors?
You got a piano, brother? I'll whoop it
Uh,
out.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I'll call Chuck. I can call Chuck.
Dude,
all right,
Just
Chuck.
I met Chuck.
dead ass. If you can find a piano, I will
We'll
play
do
for
it.
you.
We don't. At this point, we're kind of just like
Whatever.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
let's-
just hard,
fuck it.
like, to shove a piano in the trailer
Yeah.
every single time.
And
Like,
also, it's not appropriate for every show. Like, I'm not
Right.
gonna roll up to Ground Zero at a metal show and be like, all right, you guys, who's ready to settle down?
yeah, but I think people would love it.
Smooth
Yeah,
jazz.
but it's just not. It just doesn't. I don't know. We played it at the album release, and it was really great,
cried.
and people
Yeah.
really loved it. It was
very
amazing. But, like,
emotional.
we just can't do that at every show.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if we're only playing for 30 minutes
You
or
need-
25 minutes.
You
We're
need a
not
long
gonna throw a
set if
piano
you're gonna
song
do
in
that.
there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think the 3 that I rotate between are Reaper for the double bass. I love it. It just blows me away. Inferno for the chorus, 1-word chorus, and then Mirrors. Those 3 songs just blow me away.
Those are all bangers. Well,
Yeah, it seems like those 3 are actually ones that people really gravitate towards.
But there hasn't been a single song not, like, unmentioned to me.
Yeah,
Like, there
yeah.
hasn't been a single song, like, there's not, like, I haven't heard anybody say that, like, their favorite song is Waves yet. It's, like, everybody had, like,
Mm-hmm.
at least one person has said one song to me and been like, that's my favorite song. And I'm never like, oh, why that one?
Yeah.
Because I genuinely love
Yeah.
every song for
Yeah.
so many different reasons. But it's even cooler that everybody else feels the same way. Because, like, there's a lot of songs on Far From Strangers that I'm like, don't like that. Don't do that. They'll be like, this is my favorite song.
Lights. And we're like, no.
We're like,
God,
please
no.
don't do this to us.
Why
Like,
that one?
it's just there's a couple songs on Far From Strangers that I'm like, why? I want to every time that somebody's like, that's my favorite song that you guys have ever written. I'm like, why?
Have you listened to it?
Yeah, have you heard it?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Are you guys still playing a lot of songs from Far From Strangers?
No.
Nope.
We kicked that
No.
shit to the
Oh, no?
curb.
No,
Hold
I mean,
on.
we play Kingdom all the time because
Kingdom,
that's like,
In Your Eyes, and Start Me Over are the only ones that we really play still.
yeah.
Because those are the only ones that are still fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like people like different ones on the album, but we don't like it.
Yeah.
And like nobody likes them enough. Like there aren't like a million people coming to us saying, "Can you please play Hear Me?"
Oh my god. I don't even
We've
know how to play
actually,
that
we didn't
anymore.
even play Hear Me live at the first album release. It was the only, we played a cover instead.
Yeah,
That
we didn't
is-
even play our own song.
That's how we feel about that
all
song.
got a third guitar to play Welcome to the Jungle instead of playing.
Yeah, we went through. We like jumped through hoops. We were like, no, we're gonna play a Guns N' Roses cover instead of our own song at our album release.
Yeah.
Like that's just how we feel about it.
People
It's,
do like that song. I just don't.
but like
Yeah,
think about
I
it.
don't.
You're 18 now, and we wrote half that shit when you were 12.
Yeah.
Well, she was like 14 at the time. That
Yeah,
we
I
started
guess.
writing with.
Still,
I
but
don't
like
know my
it's the same.
timeline.
It's
I don't
like
know my age.
we wrote a lot of that stuff, and it was a lot of stuff that we just kind of like had, and we were like, we got to make some music, so
Well,
like
Jeremy was like, we need a happy song.
Yeah.
because our parents came up
like, "Why are your songs so
specifically.
sad?"
My mom and your mom
I
were
know.
like, all of your songs are so sad. Can you like make one that's gonna make people feel good about themselves and not remind them how sad they are? And I'm like, well, we're not happy.
So sorry,
So-
I'm depressed, Mom.
So then we wrote a
Excuse my
whole-
sadness.
Then we wrote a whole album about sadness.
Yeah, so we were like, hey, guess
You know
what?
what? Here you go.
Here's grieving.
Because the one song that we wrote about happiness is the most montage. Like, yeah, it's like so lame. I hate that song.
It's lame. It's lame.
I'm sorry to anybody who likes that song, but that is my genuine opinion of that song. It is lame
I
and
would
stupid, and I hate it.
rather be forced to play Ghost Lights at
I would play
every
Ghost
show.
Lights any day
I would
over Hear
rather
Me.
close our album release with Ghost Lights than ever play Hear Me
On
ever
acoustic
again.
guitar with only me playing it, and I don't even remember how to fucking play it. That is how
And
strongly
some
I feel about
piano
that.
accents in the wrong
Just
key.
like, bah! You could smash your head on the
I'll
on
just,
the
like,
keyboard.
bang my head against the keyboard the entire time.
Surrounded by
So
Ghost
So
Lights.
Hear Me's number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna re-release it. You know,
Can we
no.
play it? No.
I don't even know how to
I'm not-
play.
I
it.
haven't
It's in
played that
standard.
song.
I don't even have a guitar.
Yeah,
in
we don't.
standard
Yeah, it's in
anymore.
standard. We don't even have guitars in standard
I
now.
don't even know how the song goes. I don't
Yeah. Okay, back.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, okay. Enough shit talking our own band.
Yeah, screw them.
You were ready. Are you ready for the
You're
egos?
free.
And we're like,
You're
no, we're shit.
free to shit talk yourself.
The
Go on.
reason
You can
you
also
say
shit talk
it
other people
sucks.
if you want.
We're not shit talking anybody. We're not shit talkers
You
unless we're talking
can,
about
you
ourselves or
can.
our feelings.
You can shit
That's
talk people. You want names?
yeah. I know you want that tea,
talking
but we are not spilling
We
it.
are not spilling it.
I try.
He's like, just gotta know.
No, it's just.
No, we really,
Flex.
we thankfully
Views.
have great relationships, like with like most of the bands that we've.
Yeah,
Like-
like we have so many friends. All of our friends.
We
now
don't
are
we don't
just-
have like any bad blood with
bands
any
and
bands
scenes.
because like we don't.
Honestly, the greatest part about
with
the
that.
album release wasn't even like seeing like fans be there. It was seeing so many of like our friends in the music scene coming in and like
If it wasn't for
hugging-
them there, like we wouldn't have 400
Well,
people at that fucking
so
release.
many of them like came in, hugged us, like said they were so proud of us and like happy for us because a lot of them really saw us grow up. Because I mean, like I met a lot of them when I was like 13, 14, and they literally
They're
saw
on some
me.
of our first shows.
Yeah, they like saw me get older. They saw all of us get older and actually grow into this album. So it was just nice to like be recognized about like that and have them come and support us. And it really showed how strong this music scene is.
Yeah, it was very
It was really
wholesome
powerful.
content.
Yeah.
How, like, I was gonna say how good. That's not really a great way of saying it, but like the scene out in Charlotte.
It's great.
Incredible.
Great. It's so
Okay.
good.
And people will honestly, there's a lot of people who are bitter and will be like, Charlotte music scene is dead. It's shit, and it's like, no, it's not. If you
Is
just
that
like,
It just it
because-
sucks sometimes because like there's a lot of venues that have shut down in the past couple of years, and that's like been a really big blow. So it's like there are only a handful of venues that you can really play at, but like
when it comes to community,
Yeah.
like we're very strong, and
It's
to me that's
cool.
way more important. Especially like being on tour. Like if you're a local band that's ever toured anywhere else, you will immediately notice how strong the Charlotte music scene is because like there's no other band. There in Michigan, like with Hail Your Highness, was the only show that we have played in all of the times that we've toured in all of these states, and I have seen another band come out to support a local band in their scene, and that like nobody else has friends like that. Like in any
There's
of these
some people
like
there in Indiana.
yeah, I mean like it's like few, it's very few,
Yeah.
Are you
and
saying,
like
people in other local
like
bands?
local bands, like Hail Your Highness,
Oh,
like having.
I mean, that's the entire music scene here.
Yeah, right.
The only people
But
that
like
come out
it's
is
just
other
not
bands.
as prominent, and it's just like weird because like people in
You
these other
see
bands that will
everyone
tour
at
with, and
shows
they're
here.
like, these are all people like in other bands that you know that you play with, and they care about you enough to be at your show and pay money to be here, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Like you got to support each other, and they're like, yeah, well we don't
It's also
have that, and I'm like, well, fix it.
Yeah.
Like,
Even at the Ground Zero show, which is like an hour and a half away from Charlotte, there were still so many of our friends.
there was like
that
5
came out
different
to
Charlotte bands
our
at
show.
least. Like,
Yeah.
people from those bands that came to see us.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's also cool because people that are fans of like our music are usually fans of like a lot of other bands' music. So like Spencer, for example, I can go to a Blackwater Drowning show and a Light Divided show, a Something Clever show, a Den of Wolf show. I'm gonna see him at every single one of
Yeah.
those shows, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people are like that. Like everyone's a fan of everybody, so we're all just like a big family.
Even sometimes, I mean, there's people probably in the music scene that hate our music, but like they like us as people, and they'll show up anyways.
Oh yeah.
Like it's insane.
those.
And we definitely have them, and they've told us, they're like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't like constantly listen to your music. I can acknowledge you're a good band and I like you guys, but I don't want to listen to you, like, other than to be here and support you. And so that's pretty cool. Like, it is really cool.
I was gonna say, I've been to plenty of shows where I'm like, I'm just going to see like the bands play.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of times where I'm like, I don't even know who's playing.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Yeah, just go
like,
for fun.
Who's
That's like-
playing tonight?
Dude, the milestones like that, like there's a show happening at the milestone. It's gonna be packed every night.
Yeah, because you
Like,
just go for
you just
the
go to
like,
hang
the
out and
fun
see.
of it. Yeah.
So how many venues? Like, what are the big venues out there?
Well, Amos is definitely now back up there. The Underground, Fillmore Underground.
The
It's
underground
a
is a
little
lot
bit
of.
harder to get into the underground now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because-
more tour.
That's a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
more like
Corporate.
corporate. That is
Okay.
like the corporate end of it, but like local bands still play there all the time, and it's
They-
still a great opportunity. Like, you can get that opportunity, but when it comes to places that you can just go up to the owner of the venue and be like, yo, I'm gonna book a show here, is that cool? And they're like, go for it,
The
brother.
Milestone's the best for that. Like, the
Yeah.
Milestone
Yes.
has so much local support, and it also has just, like, a built-in crowd, which is really cool.
Even though it's like
like-
this tiny dive bar
Yeah,
venue.
no, it's so great, though. Like, it just has this energy. It's like the building has the energy or something.
It's like a home.
We
Yeah.
actually, when I turned 18, we threw a birthday party for me there. Like, we played a show for it, and one of the best shows we ever played, just because it was just so like wholesome and happy the entire night.
Buck,
Like-
the owner, was so excited about it. We were
Yeah.
like, can we decorate? And he was like, yeah, just like clean up afterwards, but you can do whatever you want.
We had streamers all over the
Yeah,
place.
we
They
put
hung
balloons.
up my Bitmoji, like like a
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
like pictures of my Bitmoji were everywhere. It was,
There's
like,
still a
you
couple
can
of them
still go
there.
there and find my Bitmoji like on
Yeah,
the stage.
they just blend in with the band stickers that are
It's so
covering
funny.
everywhere. So
Yeah,
you,
it's
like,
like
find
this-
Sydney surfing in the
My
back.
favorite is there's one of like it's my head like on an ice cream cone that's like on one of the like speakers.
Yeah, it is.
Still there.
I think
It's just
so.
like the fun. It's so fun. It's like a grungy little like just homey place, but like it's always packed. There's so many people there who support, and now Sydney's face is on the PA. So
awesome.
Thank you.
It's so cool.
That was the milestone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other big ones?
Amos is definitely a big one.
Amos,
No.
Milestone, Underground.
Skylark has a lot of shows.
Skylark's
in the
getting a
rabbit
little
hole.
bit bigger.
I haven't
like-
really been to Skylark.
I've been
recently.
there.
They're 21 plus. Which,
Yeah, so
Oh.
that's kind of why we don't like. So we're all over 21 now, but Sydney is still 18. So like, I think that she can play there, but it's hard for us to play shows there or like at places that are 21 plus. Period, because we have a lot of like younger
I was
fans.
gonna ask, what's your crowd look like?
It's anywhere between like 15 and 50. Like
it's 15 to like 20, 30-year-old women and like 50-year-old men. I'm not kidding at all.
yeah, and moms.
And
Oh, moms.
moms love
Specifically
us.
love us.
moms. It's
Moms
not
love us.
necessarily like older women. It is moms.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
hard,
If you
the
have a
hardcore
child,
boys,
like you're gonna like our music.
the hardcore boys love us a lot too. There was one show we played at
Oh
Ground
my
Zero.
god, so
We
many
played-
hardcore boys are like, go rock! I'm like, how? Why? Do you like this?
One of our first shows at Ground
They're
Zero.
just two-stepping.
Yes!
Yes!
They two-step to songs. I'm like, this is not a two-stepping song.
I will
I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
I will never forget one of the first shows we played at Ground Zero. We played a cover of "Misery Business" by Paramore.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
this was one of the heaviest shows we had ever played because we were still like kind of young at that time, and we were like, oh my god,
Still
we-
trying to figure out
like,
how to be
we were
heavy.
so like we don't know what to do. We don't belong here. Whatever. We played "Misery Business." The biggest like pit of the night happened during that song. These like giant hardcore boys were like angry finger pointing to the song, and we were all like, "Whoa, what?"
And like so, we had
What?
never had a pit really to any of our
Yeah, that
music
was our
yet because
first
this was
pit.
Oh,
because this was when we
awesome.
were still playing a lot of Far From Strangers. Like, In Memory has a lot more pit opportunity, pit worthy stuff. But like, it was so insane. It was so insane. I will never get over it. Whenever a pit starts during our set, I'm like, really? Wow, cool. This is great.
I get nervous because I'm like, please don't hurt each other.
Yeah. I'll never forget at the album release, so this is actually a really funny story. A couple of the guys from Violent Death, during Mirrors, you know, like in their song, when they all stop and they do the motorcycle hands? During Mirrors, David and James are staring at me and I'm crying and they're doing this during Mirrors. And I literally was like, fuck off. Oh my god. But people will do that to us and it's honestly, it's really fun. It just is fun that like it's a lot of the hardcore boys or the people that are in like really heavy bands that are just like, I'm gonna hit people to your poppy rock music.
Poppy rock.
Now that we used to have a song called Lock and
We
Key.
have a breakdown.
We had a song called Lock and Key that like had kind of a breakdown during a guitar solo.
But it's like for a minute.
So people were like, "Oh yeah, finally a breakdown. We can like go crazy." And it's like, "Oh, it's done." So now that we have Reaper, people are like, "Oh, I'm going to kill somebody during
People,
this."
you know what the one thing that people say to me the most is they just come up to me and go, "Hi, I love your band. I want to kill somebody to Reaper." Or I want somebody to punch me in the face when Reaper comes on. And I'm like, okay, I will not
Like, do it.
say,
Hit someone.
I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go play Reaper. So you just do what you do, okay? Have fun. But like, people just talk about how much they want to die during that song in like the best way.
They just want to fight each other.
Which I
It's
never
like,
would like
cool, be
expect
safe.
people- Cool, just make sure it's consensual.
Consensual fighting.
Well, Isabella, like my little sister will get in the pit and start yelling at people, "Hit me! Just hit me!" And I'm like, and people are like, "She's insane." Okay.
My favorite is Rain. Whenever
Oh,
she
Pit
gets
Mama.
in, Pit Mama, she gets in there and she like she's the lead singer of Never Eyes, lead screamer of Never Eyes Girlfriend. She will get in there and just like
Annihilate you.
like I've never seen someone go that hard in a
She
pit
scares
before.
the shit out of me.
Yeah,
And she
I
also
I would never get
she
in a pit
dubbed
with her.
Isabella Pit Baby. So
Pit Mama and Pit Baby.
Pit Mama and Pit Baby.
Dude, I love her. I tell her every time she comes to our shows, like, you gotta go hard. She's like, I'm gonna go extra hard for you. And I'm like, awesome. Don't kill anybody.
Next thing you know, she's like in the air, like, and I'm just like, oh, there's Rain. Like,
Yeah.
you can't miss her.
God.
Never Eye. You guys played with them at your release show, right?
Yes. Love
No.
them boys.
There was the Screamer joined you, right?
Yes.
How was that?
It was
so good.
okay. It's really funny because Connor from Never Eye is the only one who got the video where you can hear it, but he surprised us like that. We didn't plan that.
Yeah, we didn't know it was gonna happen.
Only Caitlin knew because Jacob went up to her at the album release, like right before we went on stage, and was like, "Hey, I really want to do this. We already planned it out. Is it cool with you, or do you think anybody's gonna be mad?" And she was like, "Dude, do it."
Yeah.
And so when he did it, he had said something to me months ago in passing. And he was like, "I'm gonna just do it one day," and I was like, "Yeah, have fun. I don't care." But like, I didn't expect it. So in the video, you hear me go, "I want to see you fucking move," and then he at the same time was like, "What's up, Charlotte?" And I heard it, and I look over, and I went, "Ah!" Like started screaming and pointing at him. And so from Connor's perspective, you can hear me go, "Ah!"
Dude, during the entirety of Reaper, like Reaper starts, and I see the two of them creeping down. So there's like a staircase behind the drums. I see them creeping down the stairs, and I'm like, what are they doing? Why are they getting closer to me right now? It's like as the song keeps
They're
going,
gonna kamikaze you during the
seriously,
breakdown.
they were literally creeping down the stairs. I was like, what are y'all doing right now? And then all of a sudden the breakdown begins, and I see Jacob just like sprint, and I was like, it's happening. Oh, it's happening! It's happening! I was so ready.
I couldn't believe it. That was like one of my all-time favorite moments on stage because I was just so stoked that it happened.
I didn't see him, so I didn't know that it was happening until I heard him.
Yeah.
And I'm like mid headbang, and I watched the video, and you can see me in my headbang kind of like look over, and then I never actually stopped headbanging. I just remember being like, "That's dope."
Everybody else kept their composure so well. If you watch me in the video, I honestly was so excited I couldn't stop looking at Jacob. Like I just kept feeling like, like looking at him while also trying to headbang, and my arms are flailing. I'm like, everybody else looks dope as fuck, and I'm just like, no, this is so fun.
Him and Connor wrote the lyrics that he screamed during
Connor's
that
a
part.
guitar player, one of the guitar
For
players
Never
for
Eye,
Never Eye.
And so they looked at our lyrics and took it and made it their own thing. And I read the lyrics and I was like, damn, these still hit close to where it was and close to home.
They
And
got
now
it
I'm-
spot
It hurt,
on.
man. Connor showed me, so Connor did. I think actually he wrote all of the lyrics, and Jacob just like made it really cool. And like, I was like, how did you do this? And he was like, I just looked at the rest of the lyrics and came up with that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like too perfect. It like almost is. It doesn't. Wow. Like it was really cool.
Such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, God.
I couldn't stop watching the video of it the next day. I had it like
I
on
showed my
repeat.
dad. My dad was like, I don't understand the screaming things. And I was like, yeah, you don't have to. It's cool.
It
Like,
doesn't sound good.
like my dad does not like that kind of music at all. Like, at all. And I was just like, Dad, look at this thing that happened. And he's like, I don't understand the importance of this at all. But I'm like, yeah, well, it's really, really awesome.
So, you got show tonight, and what do you guys got coming up? This will come out about a week and a half. So, what do you got coming up?
So April 27th, we'll be in Knoxville doing a benefit for victims of sex trafficking. So that'll be a really cool thing that we are involved in, and if you check out our social media, we'll be sharing links and stuff about that. May 4th, we are playing a benefit in Batesburg, South Carolina, and then May 10th, we'll be in Randleman, North Carolina, which I think is like kind of close. Do you know where Randleman is? Okay. I think it's near Greensboro, which would, wow, I'm not really good at geography. But that's at
I
Nitro's.
failed that class in high school.
That's all I can tell you about right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a tour planned.
What?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a tour plan, but we ain't gonna tell you where we're going. But
Yeah. But
Afterwards.
yes.
mostly
Maybe.
because I don't
We'll
know.
see.
I don't know when we're announcing it. So
See, I get told everything behind the scenes now.
He's
I
like,
love
so
it.
basically what
I
you're
love it.
saying-
I heard your entire album before you guys released
believe
it.
that.
Edward was like showed everybody.
He's like, basically, you're obligated to tell me what's going on because I will find out anyways.
Yeah.
So
I don't tell anybody. That's the positive.
That's okay.
Well,
that's
positive.
because
It's all-
I can't keep a secret to save my life.
yeah.
Don't tell me anything.
Okay, so In Memory is kind of a. Is it 2 songs? Is all about
Yeah.
the 5 stages of grief?
Yeah.
Okay. How did that all come about?
So
We
he wants to take it.
we had like so when we like were getting ready to write this album, first of all, we procrastinated it a lot, and like we literally
Well, we couldn't really think of anything. Like nothing was really hitting home.
Well, so we procrastinated it, and only had like around like 2 months to write it, and a lot had happened in our lives around that time, like some things that I don't even really want to like go into a lot of detail about, because just like it
It would be too much to even go into. Lots of death and loss of a lot of things.
It just like a lot of things changed, and it completely changed the course of where we thought we were going to go, and we were all kind of at a loss because we didn't know what that meant for us. So then we all just sat down together. We had a really long like meeting, just the 5 of us. We were just like, what do we want to get across? Because like this album was great. The release was like a hit. Like, where do we want to go from here? Because like a lot of people, their sophomore album is the album that like kind of really defines the band at that point. So we were like, stop it. I know I said define, stop it.
So you didn't want to do self-titled?
But so we just sat for a really long time, and we knew that we were all really sad, and we didn't know how to come across like that without it just being like, here's a lot of emo shit. So
because we also wanted to be, we were playing around with the fact of it being a concept album, but then we didn't want it to be like so conceptual that like we didn't want it to, we wanted it to be vague. We wanted it to be like really open concept instead of it being like this really tied down, like this is about space. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like,
like
we didn't
You
want it to
wanted
be
people to think on their own.
right, we
Yeah.
want it because like that's something that's really important to us, is being able to write music that people can take in and interpret in their own way and like put themselves into the song and feel it however they want to feel it. It doesn't have to be only the way that we feel it. And like we are always writing about feelings, like it's just a lot of feelings. We had a lot of sad.
everybody has
so-
a lot of feelings. We're just in tune with them.
Yeah,
Yes,
and we want to make
Oh,
them
yeah.
into sounds.
I don't know if we're quite in
And so we just figured out how to write about them a little bit.
We're aware that they're there.
Yeah. So I don't really remember who said, "Let's do the grief stages."
I think
It was you for some reason.
I
but
feel like
don't-
that might be right because I know that we had discussed like different ideas of things we had wanted to write about. So we were like, I want to write something about this part of my life, and I want to write something about this part of my life.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that we kind of just like wrote all of those things down, and then after looking at them, it was like, oh well, this is all kind of about this central theme, which is about loss and like
Yeah.
and grieving with that loss. So that's kind of how that came
And
around.
then we were like, well, what are the 5 stages of grief? Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, we could just, like, do something, like, if we had each stage. And it was definitely intimidating at first, because having just only written songs where you just, like, things come to your head and you put them on paper and you make into a song. Like, but we actually kind of had to close up our, like, thought process a little bit to be able to focus it into, okay, like, so that is that situation, those are the feelings that you're feeling, but, like, turn that into a way where, like, so you can say it in a way that's like, I've accepted this, or I'm really angry about this, or, and we just kind of like took whatever it was that we wanted to write about. So it didn't really affect that part of it, but it did affect how we portrayed our feelings, which was a really cool challenge for us at first. But like at first it was really intimidating. Like I was really, really intimidated by it. Like I was definitely very like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. Like this seems like really like I don't know if we're there yet. Like all this stuff.
Like lyric writer.
It is very even.
Okay.
It is like
Everybody.
I will do all of vocal melodies are pretty much what I do all of that with the exception of like help from usually Savannah or Caitlin, and sometimes I will change lyrics based on a vocal melody and like what will fit better, but like we all contribute pretty much to every single song. Sometimes depending on what it's about, like me and Shelby will write a song, or like Sydney and Caitlin will write a song, and or lyrically, and they just bring it to me, and once we have like the music kind of where we want it, or just whatever order we go in, we don't have like our writing process is kind of sporadic because it just kind of depends on the feeling of the song, and then I will sometimes rearrange the lyrics to fit into a certain vocal melody to where it sounds right and it sounds good. So will edit them based on what I want to sing and think will resonate well in the song, but when it comes to actually putting the words on paper, it is like completely split 5 ways. So there's not like one lyric writer, which is cool.
I don't know, because I was thinking about that. Because like going in with that specific concept of like we're writing about like, you know, you have the 5 stages of grief, so then you're writing the lyrics almost kind of based on that. I was like, because usually when I do it, like when I'm writing lyrics, I'm like, guitar comes first, and then I'm like, okay, what does this make me want to sing about, instead of like trying to go the opposite direction.
Well,
We all
you can
write
actually-
a lot, like
Yeah.
just our feelings on paper.
You can actually, like, on my Instagram, I posted a picture of, like, the map that we put out, that, like, where we, like, put, like, these ideas are going to be in this stage, these ideas are going to be in this stage. And it was, like, we wanted to, basically every single idea on there was, like, yeah, that makes me sad, but it was, like, well, what can we do more? We can do better than sad. What can we do? That makes me angry. I'm bargaining about that. I'm depressed about that. Like,
Right.
I think this album really showed us, like, we can do better than we thought we could, and like we proved that to ourselves.
It was really cool being able to sit down with each of these topics that all of us had wanted to write about, because like I had a couple topics that I was like, I really want to write songs about these, but both of the situations for me were angry. Like I was very angry, but only one of them was in anger, right? And so like I had a lot of like feeling behind like lyrical content with Reaper. Like Reaper was like my feelings, my situation, but like the cool part about that it wasn't only me writing it, like all of them were able to input their feelings in on what my situation was. So it like started with that, but like we were able to make it into this thing together to fit into this like category in the 5 stages of grief that everybody could resonate with, and everybody had some feelings into this song. So like we take like these situations and these things that happen to us in our everyday lives and like make it bigger than just that now, which was like really hard to do, but it was now I think that's like really cool.
That's kind of why I like that there's not like one set lyric writer, because then you get 5 perspectives on one topic. So it's like, I'm not necessarily angry about this situation, but I can, like, I'm angry about something, and
Well, when
I
I
can
was
put in
talking
my
about it-
point about it.
Like, when you talk about it, like, to us about, like, oh, here's, like, I'm sad about this. And it's like, okay, well, to us, what you're saying, it doesn't sound like you're angry anymore. It sounds like you were angry, but you're actually in this area. Like, you're you're starting to accept it. But just because you're angry about it still doesn't mean that you are... I'm getting sign language.
If I don't drink, I don't want to.
He was trying.
You're trying. It's
Camel
okay.
needs water.
She needs
Camel
water.
or camel.
Oh, we're good. I'm good. Thank you.
You weren't joking, were you?
What?
You weren't joking.
No, she's never joking about water.
But yeah,
we
it was.
could
It
talk
was
about this for like hours.
Yeah.
Basically,
it was just great
a
to have
challenge.
somebody else be like, hey, I think that you're kind of starting to accept this and you're not actually angry about it anymore, and you can still be angry and write this, but it's not, you're not coming off as angry. So like,
And also, like, eventually, lyrically, like, we had to look at each song at the end of pre-production and where the lyrics went. So, like, for example, Pointing Fingers was originally supposed to be in the anger category, but by the end of us writing it,
we were
it
like, this
had-
is super uplifting.
Yeah, it had become more of an acceptance type of song, and so, like, I mean, and there were certain songs, like, All I've Got was going to be the last song, no matter what we did, and Waves was going to be the first song, no matter what we did. And so, like...
Real quick, All I've Got, is that a sample that's at the end?
Okay,
Or is that-
so
Alright.
this is just quick rundown on that, because we get this question a lot.
Yeah, so here, everybody, here's your answer.
Okay, so if I wish that Caitlin was here, but so Caitlin's dad passed away very suddenly. What was it, 2017 or 2016? It was 2016 because that's when my grandma died.
June of 2016.
Yeah, June of 2016, and he was a musician, and he was also Caitlin's like best friend, and so when he died suddenly, it was like brain aneurysm. We didn't expect it. We were all there with her. We all experienced it. Like, we were at the hospital. We were doing the whole time we were together, and he was always the one that kind of like motivated her and pushed her towards music. Like, he loved that she was a musician and all this stuff. So when he passed away, that was like huge impact on her, and that was actually one of the first songs that we kind of started to write. And it literally just started with Savannah had written something on guitar that was really pretty, and like I just came up with the chorus vocal melody like out of thin air, and that's when it started to build, and she started getting all of these ideas. Like, this is the song that my dad's friend like randomly sent to me one day that she didn't even know was recorded.
And she also, when she was cleaning out his office one day, the lyrics to All I've Got that he wrote were just sitting on top of a pile. So
They were just there.
So she found them, and it was like...
She was
that,
like,
that came later.
Yeah.
she was
But,
like, I have to do something with this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she really wanted to do something with it. And so the beginning where she's playing acoustic guitar and Caitlin's actually singing the melody and I'm harmonizing with her, that little like clip in the beginning is the same section of the song that's at the end, which is actually her dad's song.
Okay.
Recorded. So the beginning is the lyrics kind of flipped to her perspective and relate to her, and then the bridge is actually also built off of the vocal melody and some of the words from his song, and then the end of the song is his actual song. So there's a lot of him in that song, which is why we were like that. And actually that was one of the ones where she was like, I think that that was not going to be an acceptance song, because she was like,
She fought us on it for a little bit,
but we were like, once it was written,
Yeah.
it was like, this is acceptance, dude. Like,
I
honestly,
think
congrats, but
writing
like,
I think writing the song also like helped her
Yes.
accept it.
Music is therapy.
Yeah,
but she didn't
it is
feel that
therapy,
way. That's
yeah.
like, that goes back to what I was saying before. It's like when you're writing, you may not feel like you are writing this way or speaking this way, but when somebody else looks at you and they're like, no, like, look, read your words. Like, you're not feeling that way anymore. I know that that's what you felt. Like, that's the feeling that you're attaching to the situation, but what you're feeling right now isn't that. And you might not be able to realize it until now. So that's why she fought us so hard on the acceptance thing, because she didn't feel like she was accepting it. Like, she wasn't at that stage yet. But, like, she was. And we got a really kick-ass song out of it. And
It's an amazing way to end the album.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
is.
and I think that we also made like decisions like subconsciously without really thinking about it. So like the beginning, the first thing you hear from the album and the last thing you hear from the album are both two people who are in memory. And so, like, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross is the woman who founded, like, the 5 Stages of Grief. And so that's a snippet of her explaining what it is. And so, like, having that, also, I don't think we made that conscious choice. Like, this is first person and last person are two people who have passed away. But, like, reflecting back on it and looking at it like that is just, like, crazy that I can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is a cool thing. I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I was like texting Savannah one night. I was like, dude, we made so many subconscious decisions. That's so dope.
Well, I mean, I'm like a fangirl of my own band, and I don't care. And I'll listen to my music, and I feel like people like pick on musicians for listening to their own music, but honestly, you should be that fucking proud of your music. You should like it that much. So like, at least that's how I feel about it. So like, I'll listen to my album and like my own voice and be like, okay, I could have done that better there. That was really great. Good job, Paulina. Like, that is... I absolutely tear myself apart.
Oh my, I listened to it, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Terrible.
no, it's like you can just like
Terrible.
take, with every song, you just take like one little strip of me and go, yep, nope, bad job, Paulina, bad.
I'm
But
a fangirl of...
Edward really tried to kick that out of me.
I'm a fangirl of them.
Aw.
At me?
You too.
At me.
Well, not really you, more.
Aw.
I fangirl over Savannah all the time. I constantly am like, my favorite guitar player.
What?
See, and then she does that.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
see, when they say nice things to me about the way that I sing, I get really emotional, and it just like, I'm
The
like,
Holy
my
Trinity.
friends actually like me?
Fuck.
The Holy
I can't
Trinity.
take it when
The holy
people try to
quadruple.
get, like, when Nick tries to say, like, that's a good lyric, I'm like, I can do better.
Nah,
No.
I mean, it's good to always push yourself, but you shouldn't put yourself down for the work that you're doing.
they've
Like,
taught
you can
me
always
to
do
not
better,
that.
but like you should also recognize like your stuff is still good. That is something that I had to learn with this album a lot. There was one day when Savannah and I sat and we listened to it and we just kept being like, wish we had more time. We could have done that. Wish we could have done that. We could have added that. Wow, we should have waited longer for that part. And then we were kind of like,
You could literally wait forever, and it would be
well,
constantly
then my
changing.
dad was like, you guys gotta stop like second guessing this. Like, it's a good album. Like, yes, could there things been done different? Yeah, but
literally
this is
always.
still good.
If you listen to it
wrote it
one,
in
An
2
album
months,
is never
bitches.
finished.
Yeah.
well, it can be never. It
It's
would
never-
never
it
be
never
finished
would be.
because
Yeah,
it's
at
like you
some
listen
point
to it
it's
one
not.
month, and then the next month you had gone to like. You listen to a bunch of songs and got re-inspired.
Mm-hmm.
You could change a song every couple of weeks to do more and more and more and more and more forever. So you have to just kind of at some point be like, that is great. Put it out there. And like not beat yourself up about it.
What time is it? I want to make sure you guys...
3:43.
Oh, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're
Plenty
good.
of time. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Brag about?
I have this
Fuck
stick and poke tattoo on my ankle that so
Oh my god!
so we all have album tattoos from Far From Strangers. So we're kind of trying to like keep
Is
it
all
up.
the same?
No, we all have
So
different
like
ones.
this is mine. It's funny that it's FFS though, because every single time somebody looks at my wrist, they're like, "Is that for fuck's sake?"
And you say yes.
Yeah,
And I'm
we
like,
all
yep.
have FFS tattooed on us, so people think it's for fuck's sake. But anyways, we tried to do the same thing for this next album, and like we didn't all go to get like we all have different ones that we're doing. But I decided that mine was gonna be a stick and poke that said "In Memory," and we were gonna do it on tour, and Paulina was gonna be the one to give it to me. So we
Which
started.
we got everything. Like we did it. We got prepared.
Okay, so we
I'm
started.
basically a licensed tattoo artist now. I'll be taking clients.
Whoa. So anyways, we start doing this, and like I have tattoos. They're not like like they're a thing that I'm used to. I know what they feel like. They're not like I'm not unaware of how tattoos feel. So we started this one, and she just like did the "in" outline, and then she started like going over. It's just the words "in" right here, and I legit had to be like, we have to stop. I'm about to pass out. Like, I straight up felt... Caitlin looked at me at one point, and she was like, Savvy, you're, like, as pale as a ghost. And I was like, I know, do not look at me.
Yeah, she was like, "You're gray."
I was like, I'm aware. That's why I told her to stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
'cause
was rough, so we gotta finish it. But, like,
It's
that's
just
what I wanted to say.
in.
I
It
almost
just says
burned a
in.
hotel room down.
Oh my god.
Oh, Sydney,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. I almost burned a hotel
I
room down.
enjoy hotel
I wish that
stories.
I could show
I
the
wish.
listeners the video, but it
I
would
can
just
show you
be the arms
picture.
of the
You got-
angel.
You
or
gotta
angel.
have this. You gotta just see this. So okay.
We don't
Um,
show him in the podcast though. Podcast
do it.
listeners can't hear,
Fine,
see
we can
it.
just-
I'm telling the
Describe
story
it.
while I'm talking.
Okay.
So basically what happened was I was trying to make mac and cheese, like the little like microwavable cups, all right?
Paw Patrol
Did you not put
specifically.
water in
Stop, let me get through it. That's my part to tell.
This is my story.
I feel like it's pretty obvious though. It's like, why else would you have burned the hotel
Okay,
room down?
well,
I mean, I've just
I'm
seen it
trying.
happen before. So.
I think I'm just
The
trying
scene,
to
you
like.
gotta set up the scene though, because
Yeah.
the scene that it happened in was honestly like very funny.
Okay, so we're in this hotel room. This is the first night of frickin' tour that we didn't have a smoking venue, so we were all happy to finally not be surrounded by smoke. All right.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. I go to make mac and cheese. Savannah's sitting on the floor working on her guitar. Everyone's
And
just
she's
kinda
about
like,
to like explode because she's so fucking mad at her soldering iron, and
Oh,
I am trying.
to explode.
I'm like in the kitchen for some reason. I was so
You're-
hungry and I was eating. I ate like a whole can of beefaroni and a sandwich and like a banana. I had never eaten that
we're
much
all
on tour
just
my whole
kind of
life.
like chilling, sitting around. Nothing's really happening. We're all just like kind of talking. I'm in the middle of like saying things while I'm doing this. And I like took it. Yes, I took it to the sink, turned around to finish my story, and then turned back around, grabbed the thing, put it in the microwave, turned it on, and then just like turned back around and kept talking.
And those things
In
are
the
in the
middle-
microwave for 3.5 minutes.
This was in there
the-
for 3 minutes. This was 3 minutes, and I'm still talking, and Savannah just goes, "Is that concerning?" To the smoke.
There was smoke on the
coming
ceiling,
around.
and so
Then we go.
I turn
open
around
the thing.
and I turned around. I opened the fucking
And smoke
microwave,
just goes-
and it went. And it's a good thing I'm 5 feet tall, because otherwise it would have been not as fun.
And I slammed the microwave shut, and I go, I didn't
'Cause she
put
was like-
water in it.
she was like, "Close it."
I slammed it, and I just go, I didn't put water in it. And they're all like, are you fucking kidding me?
So-
So then we open it, get the thing out, pour water in it, and
No,
everyone's
we
fanning
closed it. We had to
shit.
keep it in there for a second until Michael went in there with some tongs. No, he took like 2 somethings. I don't know what he even grabbed to get it out of there and put it in the sink. And I ripped open a Ritz cracker box and was just like fanning.
We're,
This whole time, Sydney's just standing in
I was
the
in
hotel like,
so
"Ah."
sh- I was
She
in
was
such
just like, I did a
shock.
bad thing. I did so bad. I did such
verge
a
of
bad job.
tears, just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Literally,
While the
standing-
rest of us are actually trying to solve the problem,
I
I'm like
literally-
opening the door, we're fanning things.
I literally was just standing like still, like I could not have moved if I
And
tried.
we're
I was
also
just like,
she's so distraught, and we're pissing ourselves laughing.
And
Like we're
and
like, this is so.
pissed. Michael's fucking pissed about
God,
it, and the
Michael's-
rest of us are like, "This is the best thing." That's ever
I was
happened."
sitting-
Can we get the GoPro out?
And she was like, if you get the GoPro out right now, I will cry right here.
I honestly wish we had.
And
done
I was like, damn, we
No.
should have just been like, fuck y'all tears, and then done it.
fuck you.
Listen,
I was
Great
so.
music video.
But so then Michael has to take the thing downstairs to throw it away because
no, he took it to the end of the hall, the trash can.
well,
near
he
the,
took it out of the room to
freaking
throw it away because
elevator because he was like, I don't want to do it.
we don't want it to be in the room anymore. So as he's walking out with the thing, he throws it away and he walks back and someone pokes their head out their door and they just go, I don't see smoke, bro. I don't know what it is.
Like it's like a
Michael
bunch
just
of
like
frat
scurries
dudes.
back to the
It's like a bunch of dudes in this room like growing the fuck out. I think that they were having like a party or something.
So then that night was the night that we were playing Ground Zero, and Ground Zero does this thing
Oh
now where
my
they have your
God.
logo like on giant what are they called, like slideshow thing?
Screens.
Yeah, giant
Yeah.
screens.
Screens, yeah.
Oh,
They have their logo
awesome.
up. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we took the in-memory art. And we replaced all the pieces of like the picture, like in the circle, with like different pictures of my burnt mac and cheese.
Because she had posted stuff on her story. She was like, Hoops knew that you needed water in mac and cheese.
Just
and,
like me with a sad face, and then we put in memory of Sydney's mac and cheese, and we used that as our logo for the night. It
We
was
thought we
great.
were very funny.
It was
on the way
hilarious.
there, I made a really funny video. So I had taken screenshots from all of, and like one of the pictures that I screenshotted are actually the pictures that we used on the in memory logo thing. I took screenshots from her story making fun of herself, and I literally just looked at her. I was like, Sydney, look sad, and she turned around in the van, and I took a picture of her looking sad, and so I made a video of all of the mac and cheese pictures with the arms of an angel playing over it. And
it was a really funny video.
It's like the
we'll send
funny-
it to you
everybody
and
just,
and
like-
we'll share it.
if
along
anybody
with
wants it,
podcast
just like let us
It's
know.
on my
I'll-
Instagram. Everyone just go check it
Oh, yeah,
out.
it is
Mine
the
got
funniest.
Follow me on Instagram.
No,
Yeah,
hers
mine
did.
did.
Hers
Mine
did.
did though.
Mine
Yeah,
didn't.
mine on my story did, but Isabella actually checked yesterday, and she was like, "It's funny to me that this is still on Sydney's because we were
It's
looking
not
at your
going
SJCs, and she saw that the video was still
Talk about
there."
that.
Oh yeah, we're
We
gonna
have another
stop
thing to
talking
talk
about
about.
me being an idiot, and we're gonna talk about me thriving. I got new drums. This is applause. Thank you. I got SJCs. They were very expensive, so everyone compliment them tonight.
They're very expensive.
I want everyone to
so-
compliment them.
Nobody
Don't
breathe on them.
Don't breathe near them.
Don't breathe near them.
My Vincent Van Gogh Coach bag.
Anyway, they are like a purple to teal fade with
Fresh fade.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
She's like, yeah. Oh wait.
No.
Fuck you.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what.
It's like a gradient.
No. What
Can
the?
they see him on your Instagram?
Yes.
There we
you
go.
go.
I wish I knew
At
that.
Sid McVicker, everyone follow me. I got.
I was
all
trying
the
to figure out what
things.
what word you're trying to like come up
I'm
with.
trying to remember what they called it, like what the hardware of it, like the actual name for it. It's just like a dark chrome, basically. It's a 10, 12, 16 tom, 22-inch bass. I got a Ludwig raw brass 14-inch snare.
It's loud as shit.
It's great. It's
It is-
awesome.
It's
I was telling
like
someone
a
on the way
thunder
here.
crack.
I was
It
like,
is
I can't
crazy.
wait to hear how loud that's going to be in this small room tonight. It's going to be
that's
awesome.
gonna be dope. I'm excited.
Bring some earplugs.
And Edward coming to the show.
Yes,
Edward's coming
I
to the
already
show.
messaged
You gotta
him.
be like, hey Edward.
Again, yeah, no, it's a tradition now.
So love it. Love
But
it.
yeah, my drums are beautiful. That's what I want to say.
They are so pretty. Like so pretty. I wasn't sure because like when you first like said the colors that you wanted for your drums, I was like, oh, that like caught me off guard for some reason. Just because we've been like red all of the time for so long. She was like,
I
I
want
want
something the
She's
farthest
like, I want
away
something
from
blue
red.
and purple, and I was like, all right. But
Oh.
then I saw them, and I'm like, that's the most badass fucking drum kit I've
They're
ever
my
seen in my
favorite
whole life.
colors, and I had like a purple kit when I first started, and it just like was a baby kit. So like I wanted to like get like the upgraded version of that, and
It's
I
so
did.
beautiful.
Oh, they're so nice. Yeah. That's all I
Is
wanna
the
say
front
about
of
my
it kind
drums.
of just like distressed looking of your bass drum?
Yeah,
like-
all the heads are like that.
Oh, it's so good.
They're
Isabella was
beautiful.
asking me about that. Isabella's my little sister, and she is very involved in my band, but not in my band. So she was just like, is this like distressed on her thing, and yada yada. That it doesn't tickle for some reason. That it feels like really good.
No one can see this, but
Oh, she's tickling my foot.
we have two people just sprawled out on the
Yeah.
couch.
Well, I was trying to make fun of Paulina because she's legit just like.
I'm chilling, y'all. If y'all
It's
can't
really
see
good.
me, I look wrecked. Like, if there's like no chance of my face being seen by
Well,
the
it's gonna
internet,
happen.
I'm like, I
We
hate.
take pictures, so it's gonna
All right, well, this is my
That's
pajamas.
This is
So,
my pajamas.
and also, if you tell me to make yourself at home, I will. So,
It's fine.
and you put me in this couch. Like,
The
you can't
couch
put
is
people in this
so
couch
comfy.
and not
Yeah,
expect
it
them to be
is.
like,
It's
good night.
So comfy.
This is a sleeping couch. This is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, so anything else to promote?
Hail Your Highness.
Okay, so
Okay.
back to tour.
Sorry.
Oh,
we
yeah.
toured with Hail Your Highness.
It was
Oh
the
yeah,
best decision
I
we've
mentioned
ever
them
made.
earlier. They're the best people.
band. They're the best ever. They're just
God.
their band is great. They're great people. They're great. They were the best band to tour with.
They're
It was really
such
cool
good
because like
people.
we actually on our tour in August of 2018, that's where we met them and we played with them on 2 of our shows.
We
in
just like clicked
Indiana.
with them so well.
Where are
Well,
they
so
from?
they're from Michigan.
They're from Michigan.
Okay.
And so we played with them and we were like, we love these girls. Like they
Their music
are,
is so good.
All
Like,
female bands?
yeah, it was just
sisters.
2 of them.
Oh, it's just 2 of them?
Yeah.
Dude, look them up.
You need to listen.
They
to them.
are
Oh.
fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
so
they're
talented.
so talented and like it's just the 2 of them and they're so in sync and like
They're so nice.
They
Their
both sing.
harmonies, they're so beautiful.
yeah, so they both
God.
sing. So Nikki plays drums.
Oh, I think I've
We
I
probably
think
talked
I've
about them.
seen.
We literally don't stop talking
I
about
can't
them.
shut up about them. They're so
God, I
good.
love them so much.
So I'm editing the GoPro footage right now from the tour, and I'm like making episodes of it. And I legit started crying yesterday because of the first time, like their sound check, the first night of tour. Like I was a wreck then, and I'm a wreck now.
Anna and I
So much.
were literally in the middle of trying to write, and then they started playing, and we were like, we got to stop everything. we got to listen to Hail Your Highness right now. It's time.
See, there's in the thing, you're like, they're the best band in the world. I would die for them.
I
Like,
would.
And then they were like, she was like, I like their music better than I like ours. And then then I literally went, oh wow, okay. Like
Listen,
in the
Nikki, I love you.
yeah, no, dude, they are so good. They are so.
But it was really
stupid good.
really cool because like before the tour we were just really big fans of their music, and like they were like we had nice conversations with them like when we played with them last year, but like throughout the course of the tour, so it was only 9 days. It was 9 days in a row, and it was like pretty taxing on both bands.
We didn't hang out really or anything, but like it just was.
By the time we got to the end of the tour, like we were so close. Like we talk to them all the time now. Like they really
We have a
became
group
like
chat.
our family. Yeah, so it was just really cool to like really look up to them as musicians and just really enjoy their talent when watching them, but then becoming like so close with them and just finding out that they're good, genuine, just like wonderful people.
The
Really
la-
great.
the
And
last-
Justin's not in the
Justin!
band, but he
Justin!
is their manager and he's also amazing.
I
Justin,
love that
congratulations on your wedding.
Happy
He's getting
ma-
married.
Happy Mary.
He's getting
Happy
married
Mary.
tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
So
Is it tomorrow?
Yes, it's
We need a
tomorrow.
message.
But it won't be tomorrow when
Oh, we need to send him.
I
A
know,
wedding
but either
card.
way, happy marriage.
Should we
Justin.
send him a wedding gift? Should it just be Reaper 72 times on vinyl?
But
I like that plan.
But yeah, they're just the last night of tour. I remember like we were all crying with each other. We all wrote each other like little notes, like we were leaving
Oh,
camp
God,
or
yeah.
something. And like I remember when we got in the van
Tags.
to leave, we like read them as a group, and we all just like were crying together over how much we're gonna miss them. God, they're such good people.
So we put them on the fridge in our practice space.
So everybody
Which is
check
like
out
Grandma's
Hail Your
house.
Highness. Oh yeah.
We do practice at our
Yeah,
grandma's
Hail Your
house.
Highness is the best band. You
Um,
can't dislike them.
Shout out Grandma T
Grandma T.
for letting us practice.
Or the
Yeah.
bombest lady.
I do
She'll-
hair.
She'll be offended if I call her a bitch.
I don't like that.
I do
word,
hair.
Shannon.
Come get your hair
Oh
done
my
and do
God,
the band's hair. That's
Grandma
my
T
promotion.
legit texted me and was like, please don't put the F word on Facebook. And I was like, Grandma, just.
I'm going
I know. I was like, tell your church friends to unfollow me.
It's-
Okay?
that's Jesus stuff.
That's Jesus stuff. You gotta stop.
We were
doing
cleaning
that.
out her garage, which is where we practice, and I don't remember who. I wasn't there, but you said that somebody
did.
looked at her and said, "Terry, what's in this box?" And she just looks at them, like watching everybody clean out her garage, and she goes, "Oh, that's just Jesus stuff."
We can get rid of it. Don't worry.
And she told me that, and I was like, "Jesus stuff? What?"
Very southern woman.
She is so funny.
She is the best.
is the best. She was at the Amos's show up there in the balcony.
Yeah, she was rocking it.
She was rocking.
We took up, there's like tables like at the edge of the balcony now, and we literally took up almost all of them and had a sign that said reserved for Reason Defiant's grandparents.
Yeah,
It was-
all of our grandparents and
It was so cute.
I was like, this is so
Caitlin
annoying,
Dunlop.
but also very. We have to.
Yeah.
Like,
We
I
can.
don't care. Like, these people have to sit down.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, the tour, were you guys headlining or was Hail Your Highness? Was it kind of switched?
So we
or-
were technically the headlining band, but like when we got closer to where they were from, and they were like, we were just
Yeah.
like, let's flop.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they were headlining a lot of the end of it, and we did most of the
from like
beginning.
Indiana to Michigan, they headlined.
The headline.
Because I grandma
But it was
T's
still
coming
it was still the In Memory tour, so it
Yeah.
was like our quote unquote album tour, but like we were like, there's no sense in us headlining up there. Like it would benefit both of us more if we
yeah,
did not
definitely
headline.
They headlined
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Who put it together? You guys put it together then, or?
The lovely
Yeah.
greenhead lady over here.
Okay.
Yeah, so so Justin and I kind of worked on it together as far as the routing stuff, and then I booked most of the dates. Yeah,
How was that process?
exhausting. There's a reason that we're working with a booking agent now. So that's
Okay,
like the
okay.
last.
Savannah
tour.
was like, that was her last straw.
Yeah, it was just there
Do
were
you guys
so
have a manager?
We
no. Oh, we do now.
We
oh,
do.
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
We
yes.
did not.
Wait, did you say do you or did you?
Do you?
We
We
do.
do now. We
We
do.
do.
Paul Crosby.
We love him.
Saliva.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay,
It's like
okay.
a really new thing, so that's why I was
He
like,
sends
ah.
us pictures of his daughters sometimes, and
They're so
it's
cute.
the most wholesome thing I've ever. Yeah, they and like while they're like eating Taco Bell and stuff.
It's so
He's like,
cute.
"Look, we went to Taco Bell," and I'm like, "I love you."
But yeah, so that's like a really new thing for us. So we like in the last month have just started working with Paul.
How has that process gone?
It's been
Awesome.
awesome.
'Cause
So far,
you
we're
guys
fantastic.
were a band for 3-4 years,
5.5.
5.5 years. Okay, yeah.
In August, it'll be 6 years that we've been a band. But we've only been doing it, like, seriously for, like, four. I
Okay.
wanna say.
Yeah.
Like, the first 2 years, we were kind of like,
We were
"Meh."
still like,
Was that kind
we
of?
were,
a
we
struggle?
were, getting,
Yeah,
we were
that
growing
was
into our big
cover
girl
band,
britches. We were
yeah.
getting there. We were trying to figure out how to be a real
We were
band.
still playing Crazy Train.
We were
Still
still-
playing Crazy
Yeah,
Train.
once Crazy Train died, that's when we became a real band. When I put down the guitar and had the mic full time, that's when we were a real band. Like, that was that. It took 2 years to get to like a comfortable point.
Yeah.
I think the manager is a big step.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
exciting for us, and it's really cool because like we have been doing this on our own for so long.
And we've done a good job.
Yeah, and I feel like we've done a lot, but at this point, like I was saying with the booking agent, like it just becomes increasingly more and more obvious that we can't do this on our own. Because like, yeah, we
got
we are
really far on our
successful
own.
for at where we are, but like I don't know if we can
Break through.
push
that.
it. Like we've
Yeah.
kind of done all, like we've exhausted all of our resources and all of our knowledge and all of our connections, so like it is time for us to start working with somebody else. But it's been really cool bringing Paul and James Cripps, who is our booking agent, like bringing them into the process because
Is he with a company or anything?
so James Cripps has his own company. It's Blind Anxiety Entertainment, Blind Anxiety Entertainment at yahoo.com. And then Paul is kind of on his own. He works a little bit with 434 Management, but as far as like him working with us, it's just him on his own. But it's been really cool because we're kind of picky about who we involve in this process.
Picky.
Just because we have had some kind of not so great experiences.
People don't understand that 5 women can actually run a band on their own and not have a
Do you
male
wanna call
figure.
people out?
Oh,
No,
absolutely
no,
not.
no,
But that's all we need to say right there.
They cannot understand. They can't fathom
It's
the
just
idea
for
that
me.
there's not a
It's
male
just for
figure
me.
that is running our band. That is what they like. That's what people don't understand. And it's not just one person. It's been multiple people. But like,
Yeah, we've had people like be like, so who can I talk to?
you're
After
talking
talking
to her,
to
bitch.
That's me.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, so who do I need to talk to? And it's like the person that you are currently talking to. That's it. Nobody else. Like it just is really hard for them to like they just want somebody else that is not a young female to like be in charge of it, and that's just like not how it is. And so like people that can't understand that we do all of this shit on our own, like they don't belong. They just don't belong with us because they don't get that.
They
like,
have to want to see us success.
Yeah.
Or succeed. Like
and
they
also
want.
believe that we're capable of succeeding.
Yeah,
One
because
thing
like the
that-
thing with Paulie is just like you guys are great, and I think that you're gonna go places, and I want to be a part of that. And it's like the fact that he wants to be a part of it, and he believes in us just as much as we believe in ourselves. Like that's really the selling point for us.
The one thing, so when we were like first starting conversation with Paul, that he said that really struck me was like, "You ladies work hard," is what he said, and it was like nobody had really acknowledged the fact that we work
Our
hard.
asses off.
Yeah.
James also acknowledged
Yeah,
that
well,
we
James
work
did
hard
too.
too.
Like, if you acknowledge,
There you go.
getting the in for everybody, so you acknowledge that we work hard. But no, they did, and it was genuine, and so like that's why we decided to bring them onto the team, because like it is something that we all 5 care about so much, and it is our lives. So we don't trust just anybody.
Well, and also we've had a lot of people come up to us and have that like "you need me" kind of mentality.
It's like,
and
no, we
brother,
don't need
we're
you.
paying you. You need us. Stop that.
Also, we got so far as a local band. We got so far on our own, like farther than a lot of like local level bands I've seen, and that's I'm proud
Made
of
it
that.
past year 1. I would
You're
say
right.
you
It's
went
like-
a lot farther.
Well, we made it 4 fucking years. We toured 2-3 times like on our own. Like
Booking it ourselves.
we've
booking
released
the
an
locals
album on
ourselves.
our own, like produced it on our own, came up with everything on our own, did all of our own PR, all of our booking, everything.
Oh,
like
we did for this album. we did bring on a PR agent, and his name was Johnny, and he was really great to work with. But
So
I think our
great.
contract just ended with him, which is sad. 'cause
Big sad.
He's so great.
He's so great. He
so
loves
great.
us, which was again amazing. He was like, "You guys are just so cool," and we were like, "Yeah, thank you. You're welcome
You're
to
awesome.
do this."
So basically, what it's sounding like right now is we're like, as long as you blow smoke up our ass, which is not.
No, you gotta
necessarily the
believe
Not
in us.
necessarily
It's
wrong.
not genuine
It's, no, it's more of
genuine smoke.
it's more of you gotta actually believe that we can do it. Like
Yeah.
you gotta believe that the fact that we are 5 women is not gonna hold us back.
You can't think that we can only do it just because we're female too. And it's like, oh, well, you guys are a girl band, so you're marketable, so I want to take you on. It's like, no, you guys are that. Like, that is something to be recognizable.
You
It
need
is
to
a
play
marketing.
that, to use every tool. You
Well,
got.
it's like we do play it because that is just the reality of it, but that's not all we are.
Mhm.
So like I do like to acknowledge like, yeah, we are all females, and that is not something you see every day. So like that is a cool thing. But like more importantly, we're musicians and we work our asses off to get to where we are, and like that's the part that people should notice first. Is like, well, I noticed that you guys have a very strong presence here, and you guys are like hard workers, and you're an all-female band. Like that's just like the cherry on top kind of thing, instead of it being the first thing out of people's mouths. So most of the people that we work with didn't say, "Oh, it's so cool that you guys are all girls." Like that was not the first thing that came out of their mouths, and that's why they won.
do you guys have like a marketing approach that you're pushing? Or just
We're
wondering.
cute.
I didn't know.
That was a joke.
I'm not sure if I know
Absolutely
how
a
to
joke.
answer that.
I was thinking about the videos that you were talking about from the tour. And I was thinking about that. I was like, shit, that's a great marketing.
Oh, they're hilarious.
That's all I was thinking.
Oh,
So
I had
that's
to
what
cut
I went
out,
to.
like, 80% of it is just poop jokes, so I had to cut all those out.
No,
Yeah,
no,
back
you
to the
don't.
stomach bug.
No, you You keep them.
You know,
do an
shit
entire-
happens.
You do an
Okay?
entire episode of like
Just
poop
the
joke
poop
reels. Yeah.
Well, no, because it's only poop jokes about me,
Yeah,
and they're not nice.
They're not
I'm sensitive about my butt. Okay, so.
Michael, there's literally one was like, Michael was like, Paulina, you and your licky asshole are
And
the death of me on
I
this
literally
tour."
was like, Michael, I can't help it. And I was like, I'm gonna come sit up there with you, bitch.
So now the
Okay.
secret's out. That's how the first part of the
Yeah,
tour
I don't like. Okay, so when it comes down to it, that's my life. Everybody gets sick, okay? And then not only I tried so hard to like keep it to myself too. Like I had bought masks, like doctor's masks off of Amazon.
Is that what that was for?
It was that, and also to like it is that too. It was more so the vocal rest because I got them after the fact, but like it's mostly to tell people like, hey, don't talk to me because I'm not gonna talk back. Like that's what the mask is for.
Vocal rest is hard. When
It's
all you
very
do is
hard.
Talk.
Yeah. So, but I had randomly gotten this stomach bug, and then I gave it to Caitlin. But Caitlin didn't have it as bad as I did, and not for anywhere near as long. But I honestly thought I had to wear a diaper. Like
So we were all just shitting ourselves.
yeah, we were just basically this was the shit tour.
There's a video, and it's a clip
That's the
about
name.
Paulina's
That's the name.
face.
That's the name of the episode. The shit tour.
Oh my god.
No, we are not doing that.
That's the
Okay,
name of it. It's
Oh, well, I
already
texted
done.
in the group chat. I was like, God,
I
there's
said, you
many
can-
poop
So
jokes.
you gotta sprinkle the like tame ones that are just like, oh, that was a nice little bit of funny poop joke. Not like a Paulina, your like a leaky asshole is pissing me off. And I'm like, you know what, Michael? Next time that you're cleaning your pipes, I'm gonna make you feel bad. So, because he's doing that right now. You don't have to be
so sad.
He'll be fine.
No, you know his ass would be sitting here right now and being like, oh no, that bitch. Let me tell you, she made me pull over every 30 minutes. And then
So
she would have
Michael-
been like, I love you, baby. It's okay.
So Michael essentially is, first of all, Shelby and Sydney's dad, but he
Oh,
kind of plays the role of our tour manager whenever we go on tour. So like he drives the bus and
He's
and
our dad.
He wakes us
All of
up.
our
He's
dad.
like, hey, we gotta be there. You gotta leave at this time. You have an hour to do your makeup. Like that's one cool thing is that he'll like wake us up when we're asleep. He'll be like, hey, we're gonna be there in an hour. Start putting your makeup on.
It's like, yes, Michael.
But he also just gets so mad at things sometimes, like Paulina's leaky asshole.
I was so sick. Like, I have never been that sick in my life. I was like this, and it wasn't even like my body. Like, I felt fine. Like, I had energy, but I was in so much pain, and it just was, you couldn't trust anything. You know, I was just in a ball in my bunk, crying. Like, I was so miserable those first, like, 2-3 days of tour. And he's making fun of my butt, and I was just over it. And then Caitlin got it. And I was like, yeah, now you get to feel it.
Did you guys have a van that you traveled in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we rented one. But we
currently
need one.
looking for
We're
a
looking.
van.
We're looking for a van. We're looking for
Please
an
help.
affordable van that is in shape. Please help.
What? How big?
15 passenger.
Is
Make it-
ideal.
You gotta make it specific.
Oh, okay. 15 passenger van with
Please,
not
with
that many
windows.
files on
Like,
it.
not like the kind
What
that's,
we
like,
said.
blacked out
Less
windows.
Under 150?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, under
What?
150.
Less than 60,000.
We're
shit.
looking to spend no more
No money.
than 16,000 on the van.
Which is, we understand, basically impossible, and we're giving everybody...
Oh,
What is it? The
No,
bucket
no,
seats are
no.
good, or the
No, no,
bucket
no.
seats are
Bucket
bad?
seats bad.
Benches are
Bench.
bad.
Bench
Bench
seats.
seats.
Bench seats.
Bench
Okay, so
seats.
if you wanna
Those
know why the
seat
bucket
buckles will
seats
get
are bad.
stuck in your ass, and
Yeah,
we're not
bucket
dealing with
seats
that
have
this
seat
time.
belts.
And there's butt fuck you these.
Yes, they do. You sit down and you're like, ah!
Oh my god, there's so many times where we would just, like,
God.
sit down, like, flop down because we forgot that they were fucking bucket seats, and you get butt fucked by your own van!
There's like 4 of them, so you
I
get one
believe
stuck in your
that.
back, one stuck in your butt, one stuck in your leg. It's just not pretty.
We had so many bruises. Just, like, I had bruises on my
Just for
butt
the
and my
fucking
leg.
seatbelts.
God, it was awful.
So bench
oh,
seats
oh,
because
and-
no butt fucking.
has
No butt fucking.
has a hitch. And needs a
Oh,
hitch
and
on
yeah,
it.
we do have to have
Oh, you guys got a trailer?
We
Yes.
have a trailer.
Yeah.
That is ours. We do.
Yes.
That is ours. We own that part.
We own
If
that.
we could
We
just
just don't
attach,
have anything to
if we
pull
could
it
just
with.
attach a
Poor
motor
Leonard.
to the trailer and all just like sleep on top of the equipment, at that point we would do it.
Could you imagine a motorized trailer? It's just Michael sitting on like a bike in the front to steer.
Oh God!
Oh my
I don't know
god.
why that's
It's so funny to me.
Just
Funny
imagine
because Michael would be so mad.
Yeah, it's like the funniest part would be his reaction to that.
He'd be so pissed.
He would
my
just be
God.
like, "These fucking bitches."
I know he does call us bitches a lot.
Oh yeah,
the
we are
time.
his bitches. He's like, "All right, roll out, bitches." Like that's what he does
That's
every
how
morning.
he wakes us up. He's like, "All right, bitches, time to get up for breakfast."
He's like, he'd be like, and I will not get up. Like, I'm the one that will sleep through breakfast because I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I will rather starve. I want
There
to
are
have my eyes
sometimes-
closed. And he's like, bitch, you getting breakfast? I'm like, bitch, get me a bagel. And he's like, bitch, I got you. And then he leaves.
There are sometimes when Shelby or Paulina will text us and be like, "Hey, can you guys grab me a bagel?" And Michael will read it and be like, "Fuck no, they didn't get up." And then we'll get up there and
my
be like,
bagel, anyways.
but then sometimes we'll get up there. There was one time when he was like, "Fuck no," and he got up there and he was like, "I'm so sorry, the breakfast got put away." Like so apologetic when he literally was like, "I'm not getting them shit."
Oh my god.
Yeah,
he's
and I was
terrible.
like, you're mean. I'm never taking care of you. You
He's
decide
so
that you
sassy.
He is so
not
sassy. He's not
the-
mean.
he
He
is-
is literally the best thing that
He is the most
about.
caring human being I think I've ever
He's just
met.
sassy about it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very
just sassy.
He is
You
sass
just gotta let him
master.
sigh and bitch about things and he's fine.
Because he doesn't. He actually loves it. He'll never admit it, but he loves everything about this band.
We'll like acknowledge him on stage sometimes and be like, "Go see Michael at the merch table."
Oh,
And
he's
just-
gonna be so pissed that we're talking about him.
Oh
right
God,
He's
yeah.
so
I'm
mad.
always like, go see our sexy merch man, and he's just like, oh fuck you, like.
Will he be there tonight?
No.
No, he's sick right now. Yeah.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he's cleaning the
Leaky
pipes.
He pretty much makes it to every single show, but yeah, he
No,
won't be there
yeah.
tonight.
Our mom will
his,
be there,
His
though.
pipes need attending too.
Melissa will be there.
Melissa will be there.
Melissa. Was she at the last Clayton Beverage one? No.
No,
Oh, she's gonna shit a brick.
She's gonna
Well, because she's over. This place is small. Are you gonna be on the ground?
She's gonna be.
And then we're like, yes,
Yes,
Melissa, that's how we're.
Mom.
She's gonna be
Alright,
fine
so-
till it gets hot, and then she's gonna be like,
She'd
"Oh,
be like,
hell no."
she's like, I need a chair. I need a chair behind this merch table, which is like, what? We have to use one
There's-
of our
Well,
things.
there's benches.
I know.
We'll
She,
steal her
she,
chair.
she's just hilarious because she likes to have her own things.
Yeah.
Like she likes
Her
to bring
own chair.
her own chair
She
and her
brings like a
own
lawn chair,
drinks.
like the soccer
Yeah.
mom. Like I'm
It's
going to watch
awesome.
the game.
She likes her
kinda
own
She's
little
watching the
space.
set.
So she's a trip too. Like all of our parents are really like my mom and your parents are pretty involved. Parents are the most involved. My mom it's the one that like gives us places to sleep and feeds us copious amounts of food. But but they're all very involved, so it's funny that like all of the jokes that we have with our parents, we're just like we can like fuck around with them and with all this stuff. It's awesome.
How has merch sales been? That
Pretty
came
good.
out of nowhere. My
You're
brain
fine.
is
this
very
month
random.
it's been really great.
So To the Moon Designs designed our whole new merch line.
I wish that I could plug my hairpin.
You can.
I did, but like, I actually did say it, but y'all wouldn't stop talking. I like would be like, I do their hair. I just like said it underneath you guys because I was like, they're not gonna shut the fuck up. It's fine.
No, but since we got the new merch line and like really tried to go with designs that we thought that everybody would like, it's been pretty good. And everybody's been liking the designs, and it's really cool to like. At the Amos's show, I looked out and like almost everybody was wearing the merch. And
Well,
that
the
was,
pictures
like
like
so
from behind
crazy.
were really cool because you could see all of the like back graphic ones or like
Yeah.
the hats that say the Reason to Fine on them and all of that, and that was really neat to see.
Yeah.
What's been like the biggest sale?
The Amos's show. Or like which shirt?
In
Oh,
memory
in
of
memory of
when
when
I
I cared.
What merch?
It says in memory of when I cared, and it has a coffin on it and a skull hand flicking you off coming
Yeah,
out of it.
I think it sells because people just think it's funny.
It's
regardless of
hilarious.
what
Well,
it's
because it's a
called.
relatable shirt, and people are like, "Oh, I'd fucking wear that." Because
Yeah.
like that's like so funny and so relatable, and it's a band T-shirt. Like
It's
that's
so,
neat.
like, sorry, not sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exact
Yes.
same,
It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's cool that we get to play on our own album title and
Mhm.
it's kind of like we were like and
It's
then
very
we were, like,
us, like-
cared about these things.
Well, and we tried to start making things that like we would also wear. It's like
Yeah.
there's not really any part of our merch that I wouldn't put on my body and wear proudly. And before I'd be like, I'd never fucking wear that. Like,
Well, because
but other people liked it.
before
Well, I wouldn't wear white.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear maroon.
well, before
yeah.
it was more like our name has to be on it. It has to be very reason defined. It has to be like this.
It has to be exactly the logo.
Yeah.
You can't have it in any other font.
And then we were like, "Fuck that! Let's just like make it a shirt that we like." And then
Put Reason to Fine on the bottom
yeah,
in regular font. Doesn't have to be the giant ass
Roboto.
logo. Roboto.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, I know
that's the
nothing
name of
about
our font on the In Memory of When I Cared shirt.
I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Domo. Domo.
oh,
Cool.
It's gotta be closing in.
421.
420. Okay.
420. Sorry.
One.
What?
Promote yourself. Yes,
Um,
420. Welcome.
We're reason to
Um,
find.
Where can we find you?
you can find us on
ReasonToFind.com.
reasontofine.com.
And it has
all of
links
the
to all of our
social
social
media
media
at
on
Reason to
there.
Find.
Oh,
At
so you
Reason
have to go
to
to
Find.
the website.
Or you can literally just fucking Google
Literally
Reason
look
to
up
Find.
reason to find anywhere.
It'll be like Reason to Find Instagram, Reason to Find Facebook, Reason to Find on Twitter, Reason to Find on what the fuck ever else that you can look up Reason to Find on.
Not TikTok.
Not TikTok.
Oh, we should make a TikTok. I'd have so much fun on there. Can I
That is
control
all you, brother. If you want to do it, you
the?
can
I'm
do
making a
it.
Reason to
TikTok.
Find TikTok and it's just Sydney being an idiot.
That's
You just like find a post of me just like
YouTube,
Reason
Yeah.
to Find. You got a
Reason to
YouTube?
Find.
music videos.
reason to
Yes. We do have
Pointing
3 music
phalanges.
videos out. Music videos
Phalanges.
out for this album. We have one out for Pointing Fingers, one out for Mirrors, and one out for Inferno.
And maybe even another one sometime.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Do we
I
have
don't
a release date?
No.
No,
we have
That's
nothing.
why I said
Has it been
sometime.
filmed?
Not yet.
Nope.
Okay.
That's why I said
Things
sometime.
We're
We are in the
Do
very
we know
early
what
stages
song?
of
yes,
Do
yes.
we know what song?
No.
Unless Edward's told you.
No, I don't.
We're,
I don't
We're
think
hanging
so. I
out
don't
with
think
Edward
so.
tomorrow.
We are hanging out with
So
Edward
something's
tomorrow.
happening.
Yeah.
We're
You know
going
that?
to get beach
I may
trainers.
happen.
Edward.
Well, Edward can tell you.
Eduardo.
Eduardo.
We got
Like
plans.
I said,
We're working
I've got
behind
the
the
background.
scenes.
We got some fun stuff. It's too early to say anything about it because we literally have nothing set in stone except for like the one thing. It's like that's happening, but we don't know anything about a music video or.
It's
I
happening.
brought my Eminem pajama pants that Edward didn't get to see while we were writing the album, so he's gonna see them
Oh, I wish you could see my
tomorrow.
corgi shorts.
I'm really happy for you, but I'm so confused about why that's relevant.
Dude, I was like, Edward's gonna make so much fun of me. I'm definitely bringing the Eminem pajama pants.
I don't have pajama pants. I'm sad. I want fun pajama pants.
All right. Anyways,
Just
we got some stuff
basically-
happening.
Basically, follow us on all social medias and keep your eye out this summer because a
Your
lot's
eyeballs
gonna
peeled.
happen.
Yeah, we're busy. We're busy.
We're busy lemon. I'm going to Amsterdam.
That's not related to the band. but
I'm
that's
also
The
working.
band is not going.
I'm doing hair all summer. I'm doing hair all summer, so you can definitely come get your hair done if you want it to look like my band's hair.
Or
Maybe.
not.
Or
in
not.
School.
Huh?
I'll be in school and in the band.
I have a dog.
Wait, what are we doing
I
right
don't
now?
know.
We're promoting ourselves.
Don't
Savannah
know,
can fix
but-
your guitar at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Matthews.
Guitar Center Matthews.
I work across the
Mommy
street
fix your
from them, so
guitars.
you can get your
Yeah.
guitar fixed and then get your hair done.
Come buy something from Sydney and then get it fixed by Savannah at Guitar Center.
And then go get
But-
your hair done and then
Like,
get a
just come
t-shirt
and buy
design
things.
made by
Don't come
Shelby.
hang out with us. Just come buy things.
We can shut up now.
Yeah.
If you-
No. You're good.
Cool, we've been reason to find.
We've been
Um,
reason to find.
So sorry.
Sorry for what you just listened to.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Oh, we won.
Okay.